Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Riverhead Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, May 23rd. Can I get a motion to come out of executive session? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Ms. Healy. All in favor? Motion carries. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this evening we would like to begin by recognizing our valedictorian, salutatorian, and our top CTE student. So I just wanted to read each of our three students' bios, and then I have certificates for them as well. Our valedictorian, Emma Ellis, has been part of the track and field team since 9th grade, competing as a pole vaulter, earning all division and all county recognition, and breaking the Riverhead High School's girls' pole vault record with a jump of 10 feet. She is also on the cross-country team, and she is track and field team captain. Emma plays with the symphonic band, wind ensemble, and pep band as the flute section leader. She has been a CAP peer leader since 8th grade and a member of Athletes Helping Athletes and a Women in Science Engineering since 10th grade. She is an AP Scholar with Distinction, a Rensselaer Math Medalist, and the French Honor Society President. Emma will be attending the University of Notre Dame in the fall and majoring in chemical engineering with a weighted GPA average of 109.8806. Our salutatorian, Jennifer Alonzo Moreno, is currently president of Women's Empowerment Club, a member of our Science Olympiad team, Key Club, and our National Honor Society. Jennifer was also a stage manager for the Riverhead High School Blue Masks. She's an AP Scholar with Distinction and is qualified for the College Board National Hispanic Recognition Program. This year, she participated in the Angelo Del Toro Puerto Rican Hispanic Youth Leadership Institute in Albany. Jennifer plans to major in computer science at Boston University, and she has a weighted GPA average of 109.5399. And our top CTE student, Maya Hopkins, is enrolled in the Computer Science and Application Development course at the Eastern Suffolk BOCES Gary D. Bixhorn Technical Center in Bellport. While enrolled, she has generated numerous highly efficient and well-developed programs and applications and has recently been inducted into the National Technical Honor Society. Maya plans to enroll in the computer science program at Suffolk Community College, and her goals include contributing to an occupation in the field of technical engineering. Her weighted GPA average is 102.7967. Congratulations to our three scholars.
We going to get pictures of?
We could do that now, or we could do that after. So, you want to do it now?
So yeah. They don't have to stick around.
Okay, moving right along. Opportunity for high school student representatives.
Good evening. So we noticed that at the board meeting on May 9th that there were agenda items regarding district-wide safety and security upgrades. We'd be interested in knowing the scope of the work that these bids entailed and what these new implements are being proposed to the district safety and security plan. Furthermore, we request that when future plans regarding safety and security are proposed and set forth, we would like to see the ability for more students, parents, and teachers to be able to express their concerns and ideas constructively, as we all have unique experiences and perspectives as members of this district, and we all want to ensure that the best plans are set forth.
All right, now we'll just go over some recent recognitions that's been happening in the high school. So over 100 students from our freshman seminar classes will be participating in a beach cleanup at Riverhead Park Waterfront and Iron Pier Beach this Friday. All 8 of our spring varsity teams were scholar athlete teams, and 139 of our varsity athletes attained individual scholar athlete status. The Riverhead High School Interact Club joined Habitats for Humanity to help build a house for a family in need. The house was located in the Riverhead community. These students learned how to insulate the house and clear the yard for landscaping, and the club will be returning on Thursday, May 25th to help paint the interior of the house. Next, congratulations to our varsity softball team who are doing very well in their playoffs. Their next game will be tomorrow at Smithtown East. On May 12th and May 19th, all gym classes attend Anti-Violence Assembly titled Respects, sponsored by the AAECF Inc. Inspired by a recent field trip to see every brilliant thing and in support of Mental Health Awareness Month, Riverhead High School senior Emily Peters proposed to the Riverhead High School faculty members a building initiative asking everyone to wear green this Friday, May 26th. In addition, all students will have an opportunity to write about something that brings them joy on a green post-its to be displayed outside of the cafeteria. Students in grades 9 through 12 have the opportunity to attend a job fair sponsored by the Riverhead Chamber of Commerce on May 17th at the Riverhead High School. Students have the opportunity to network with multiple employers, practice proper interviewing skills, and create opportunities for future employment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to public comments on agenda items, and agenda items only. Do we have anybody? Okay, seeing there's none, we're going to move on to superintendent's report. Dr. Torrentori.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. We're going to begin by recognizing Sarah Atkins and Judy Marcus. I just wanted to share that they were responsible for saving the life of one of our students. I thank them from the bottom of my heart for the work that they've done and truly appreciate the quick action that they took. So I would like for them to come up now so that we could give them their certificates and formally thank them. And our next item, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Galati, so he may discuss regarding our STEM presentation.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. This evening, Dr. Janine Campbell, Director of STEM, has prepared a presentation for the Board of Education and the Riverhead community regarding our district STEM initiatives and accomplishments. It is through the exposure and learning of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics that students are engaged in learning tied to discovery, critical thinking, and problem solving. In addition, through a focus of STEM instruction, students broaden their scope of inquisition, innovation, creativity, curiosity, and more to best prepare them to achieve in a constantly evolving technological and exploratory society. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Campbell, who will share with us some highlights captured within the learning of STEM across the Riverhead Central School District.
Thank you, Dr. Galati. Thank you, Cabinet members, Board of Education, and Dr. Tornatore for the opportunity to present on this year's STEM initiatives. So I'd like to start off with a short video titled "The Kid Who Never Stops Inventing." It's a minute and a half, it's not long. I'll continue and we can come back to that. That's fine. Thank you. Benefits of STEM. STEM-based education teaches children more than science and mathematics concepts. The focus is on hands-on learning with real-world applications, helping to develop a variety of skill sets, including creativity and 21st century skills. Just some of the 21st century skills attained through STEM education include problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, curiosity, leadership, and more. Regardless of the future career path considered by our students, these skills go a long way in preparing them to become the innovative and inventors of tomorrow. STEM education provides opportunities to take traditional learning and pivot it to real-world applications necessary for developing an innovative mind. In science, we're adopting curriculum developed locally and regionally aligned to the New York State Science Learning Standards that help students to engage in the sense-making of the disciplinary science phenomena by using science and engineering practices and cross-cutting concepts. Program adoption emphasis is on investigations that are student-directed and relevant to students' everyday lives. In classrooms, the focus is to have students engage in minds-on, hands-on science tasks to integrate the practices of ELA, math, and social studies where they fit naturally. We worked very hard and we were very successful this year in providing district-wide K-12 professional development in the implementation of the next generation learning standards in science, and we'll continue to do so leading into the 23-24 school year. In technology, our computer repair and networking courses offered a test-out certificate this year. 26 of our students will be earning the certificate, which will provide them with industry-recognized credentials. Test-out pro certification exams use the most advanced simulation technologies to measure an individual's ability to perform real-world IT tasks. In mathematics, as a district, we are entering year 4 of our Ready Math program in K through 6, which is aligned with the next generation learning standards. We've been able to provide professional development 3 times throughout the year, giving an opportunity for teachers to review their students' individualized scores using the triannual diagnostic through Ready Math, analyzing data, and using that data to drive instruction in their classroom that is individualized to diverse needs of their individual students. Makerspace. Here are some photos from across the district, and we now have makerspaces up and running in all 7 buildings. Makerspace activities are interdisciplinary, encompassing the 4 major subject areas in digital literacy and hands-on STEM learning experiences. At Riverhead, these are some photos across elementary, middle level school where kids are engaged in hands-on learning in the makerspaces. I love the pictures of the kids. Okay. At Riverhead High School, meet Thank God Amale. Thank God is a dedicated sophomore and innovative student who created an exceptional 3D model for the NJROTC team requested by Chief Decker. Ms. McGurk, who advises the school's 3D Maker Club, has a background in 3D modeling and a passion for technology, immediately thought of Thank God for this project. He worked with the NJROTC to create a 3D model that could enhance the team's training and help them better understand the intricacies of military equipment. His DDP tech teacher, Mr. Heinrich, was an excellent source of information for Thank God. Over the course of several weeks, Thank God had meticulously researched and crafted a highly detailed 3D model of the rifle pellet holder, which allows cadets to qualify for their marksmanship medal. The NJROTC program has been blown away by Thank God's incredible work, and the model has become an integral part of their unit. The Long Island Explorium is a STEM-focused children's museum located in Port Jeff Village, and earlier last year, this museum was awarded a prestigious grant award from NASA, recognizing them as a community anchor to expand access to STEM to diverse populations across Suffolk County. As part of this partnership, the museum was chosen as a participant for their Students to Launch program, which offered extremely special rare opportunity to students. The organization worked with local school districts to recruit students to participate in an Earth and Space Science Hub event Saturday, November 5th at the Comswag High School Library. Contiguous to this experience, students are now eligible to attend an all-expense-paid trip to see a live rocket launch at the Kennedy Space Center. So here are our engineers right here from Riverhead Middle School hard at work. There were 4 other school districts from Suffolk County and NASA representative tasked with the real-world problem of space socks. The space socks that astronauts are currently using are leaving their feet blistered and torn up at the end of missions. Our student engineers were tasked with creating and testing a design for a more durable yet comfortable sock for our astronauts. So here are our students testing their models and then presenting their products to the group. This was truly a rewarding experience for our students. We are starting our first agricultural science course at Riverhead High School in the fall of 2023. The mission of this program is to prepare future generations for the challenges of feeding a growing population. Agriculture is more than planting and harvesting. It's a science, it's a business, and it's an art. We're in the process of becoming a chapter of the FFA, which encompasses a partnership with Cornell University and the College of Ag and Life Sciences to help prepare our students for a future in the agricultural sciences and all they have to offer. We would like to thank Carl Gabrielson, a local farmer who has had children come through our district, for his donation of a hoop house, which will be uprooted on our grounds in the fall. In preparation, Mr. Brandy, our ag ed teacher at the high school, will be attending the Agricultural, Food, and Natural Resource Safety Professional Development at Lowell Academy this summer. We were able to obtain scholarship funding through Cornell University to finance this opportunity, and we're very, very grateful for that. The Riverhead Observatory was officially reopened at our observatory ribbon cutting ceremony. Thank you to the Board of Ed members and the town members and the cabinet that were there to celebrate that special day. George Bartnick, a teacher who taught here in Riverhead in the 80s, who was here when the original observatory was donated by Mr. Young, was there and spoke words that were truly, truly compassionate, and he was very excited and got a little choked up because he knows that Mr. Young would have loved to have been there that day. So that was a truly amazing experience for us as well. Rocketrones. The Rocketrone Racing League will be offered for grades 6 through 12 in 3 buildings throughout the Riverhead Central School District next year in Pulaski, Riverhead, and the high school. Students can earn a Part 107 drone license by the age of 16 as part of the program, and will learn about physics, mathematics, engineering, mechanical diagnostics, and coding. The skills involved in drone racing can be directly applied to multiple career opportunities such as power line inspections, film set productions, mechanical engineering, software development, and many others. In addition to regional and national drone competitions, students will also have opportunities to meet and collaborate with professional drone racers, pilots, and students from around the world. Riverhead is proud to be the first school on Long Island to join the Rocket Drones Racing League. On May 1st, we had a demonstration at the middle school with students and club advisors, joined by Pat Vermillion of Eastern Suffolk BOCES and Southampton Athletic Director Darren Phillips, who are very interested in the program as well. Students were able to program and fly the drones right on the spot. And furthermore, we are partnering with the NJROTC's Naval STEM program to increase partnership and collaboration between the NJROTC and the school as a whole. So these are just some photos of our students racing the drones. Esports. This year we started an esports club at Riverhead High School. All those long nights staying up till 2 a.m. to play video games are finally paying off, literally. The typical scholarship amount ranges between $500 and $8,000 per year. However, several schools have begun offering full tuition scholarships to esports players. In addition, research supports that the inherent elements of collaboration, relationship building, and creativity involved in the gaming world help strengthen those very same strengths in the real world. And we're excited to bring this opportunity to our students as well. New STEM course offerings for 23-24. We're offering AP Pre-Calc, which is the first year this is being offered through College Board. E&L Computer Programming, Python, Video Game Design, Agricultural Science, and Applications of Chemistry. After-school STEM programs, gardening clubs throughout the elementary schools, robotics in both Pulaski, the middle school, and the high school, the Rocketrone Club in Pulaski, the middle school, and the high school, esports at the high school, and our Makerspace 3D clubs happening across the district as well. This year, we started implementing and facilitating articulation and alignment meetings across the district. Purpose and rationale for these meetings has been to determine what are the essentials of learning at the culmination of each grade level across humanities and STEM. By facilitating these meetings, we were able to provide opportunities for conversation and discussion among teachers from across the district to revisit curriculum, scope, and sequence, and assess how we are adhering to the next generation learning standards. Teachers were able to share strategies for critical thinking and problem solving, collaboration and student voice, and share strategies to meet the needs of diverse learners in their classrooms. Feedback from teachers on this has been wonderful. At the end of each session, we do send out a Google form so that we have teacher feedback, and it has been really well received. We started this year with grades 4 through 5, so there was a partnership between elementary and Pulaski, 6 to 7 to bridge middle school and Pulaski, and then 8 to 9 to bridge the middle school and the high school. And we're looking to broaden this next year to all grade levels and include various stakeholders. PD throughout the year. As mentioned before, we partnered with Brian Vorwald of BOCES to provide professional development for all teachers K through 12 in science this year, and we look forward to continuing that into next year. In addition, myself and the team of our middle school math teaching staff attended the 37th Annual Long Island Math Conference, also known as Limicon, designed for math educators from primary all the way to the university level, providing opportunities for professional interactions and a forum for the exchange of innovative ideas and achievable goals in the classroom. Each member of our team attended a different session throughout the day and then turnkeyed at respective department meetings, noteworthy takeaways. Myself and Dr. Quay at the high school have been attending monthly meetings through Western Suffolk BOCES with directors and educators across Long Island to prepare to offer AP Pre-Calculus in the fall. In technology, myself and the high school tech department have worked with LITEA, the Long Island Technology and Engineering Education Association. We have met with experts in the field of higher education to develop technology education and networks for our educators and professionals. And myself and Jen Sauter have been working on going to faculty meetings across the district to teach about the new computer science digital fluency standards coming down from the state, and to glean information on how we're currently implementing those standards and the work that needs to be done in order to continue to implement them to fruition. Looking ahead, I've partnered this year with Linda Padwa of the STEM education program at Stony Brook, placing multiple student teachers, both in Riverhead Middle School and high school, so that when positions become available going forward, we have really, really good candidates, and we're partnering and creating relationships with those candidates coming out. I've shared multiple scholarship opportunities with our departments across the high school for the Rising Scientist Award and Lista Mella Scholarship Award, so I'm hoping we'll have some candidates there. And lastly, WISE, this past year, Riverhead High School students participated in conjunction with Stony Brook researchers as part of the after-school program Women in Science and Technology, also known as WISE. The 8 senior ladies in these photos participated in an oceanographic project highlighting estuary changes in Long Island. WISE is an ongoing program for young women in grades 10 to 12 who are interested in STEM coursework and careers. They work alongside postdoctoral research students and faculty at Stony Brook University to conduct hands-on field research throughout the year, which ends in a culminating project with a presentation of their findings. These girls are doing amazing things, and we are so proud. So as you can see, with the opportunities and programs and initiatives that we're providing here, we have innovative thinkers, and if that video is ready, it would be appropriate now. Do you want me to go back to the slide? Mm-hmm. So as you can see, especially from the women that were celebrated earlier this evening, I think we've got our very own Mollies right here in Riverhead. So thank you this evening for the opportunity to present, and I look forward to working with staff and students to present the STEM opportunities to Riverhead in the future. Thank you.
Does the board have any questions for Ms. Campbell? Oh, no?
No, but I just think it's been fantastic what's, you know, am I on? What's been going on in the district. And so, thank you. Did she leave already?
Thank you so much.
Am I on?
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Moving on, we are going to have a presentation from Transpar. I'm going to ask Dr. Asay to share out about that.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we have Micah Brasfield to present the status of the work that Transport is doing in regarding to bell schedule and some other operational changes that we're making to make transportation more efficient. So.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you here again, and great to see a lot of the student accolades and recognitions. It makes me want to go back to high school, some of the courses that you all are offering. So I will share a little bit tonight about the work that's being done since the routing management contract took shape, and it will be very brief unless there are any questions, but just providing an update of where we are. I know that the board has an opportunity to discuss the resolution for bell times, so following that work and approval tonight, that will be our next steps is to begin the route redevelopment. Just a quick update, the routing management contract officially began in mid-March, March 16th. Throughout the course of April, we spent time working to confirm and review district policies as they pertain to transportation, had several stakeholder discussions to begin informing the process with regards to looking at adjusting school bell times to address some of the challenges that have been in place with transportation this year with regards to lack of school bus drivers and some of the challenges that became present to us throughout the route efficiency study with regards to not having enough time between bell tiers, particularly in the afternoon. So we conducted several sessions with various stakeholders, getting input on the parameters and constraints with regards to developing new scenarios for the 23-24 school year. And then we also spent some time with our team behind the scenes reviewing the district's transportation routing software, which is the Traverses system, starting to review integrations and all of the pre-routing tasks that will be required in terms of settings and policies to begin the route redevelopment work for next year. As we start May, we began the development of scenarios, again working with the various stakeholder groups to narrow in on the final schedule, which was developed this week. And we've also, aside from our work with the bell time schedule, have worked with the transportation department to implement an incident management system, which will be critical in better tracking customer service complaints, incidents as they come in, and making sure that there's a system in place for making sure that any responses back to parent complaints or campus administrator issues with transportation can be better tracked, followed up on, and resolved in a timely manner. For the remainder of May and our project's next steps, we will be awaiting final approval, hopefully this evening, for the bell time schedule that has been proposed. Again, we'll make the final updates in Traversa, which is the routing software that the district will be routing in for this next school year, and we will begin the route redevelopment process. We are currently discussing the options with regards to universal pre-K and expanding the transportation services to those students. Through June and July, we will be doing the route redevelopment. The student database will not be rolled over until the middle or end of July. I believe July 21st is the time frame that it's currently slated. So we cannot assign new students to routes for next school year until that rollover takes place. We will give the drivers an opportunity to dry run routes and make final revisions. So we're anticipating that the routes will be done those first 2 weeks in August to begin communicating that information out to parents in the community ahead of the 23-24 school year. And then finally in August, again, just wrapping up that timeline, the publication of those final routes to make sure that information is in parents' hands prior to the start of the new year. I know that the board will be discussing the bell times here later this evening, so just this information is more for informational purposes, but this is the current schedule. The primary proposed changes are to leave the Riverhead High School and Riverhead Middle School times the same. There's been an alignment of the K through 4 schools with a later start time to address some of the challenges with the time between tiers in the afternoon and on-time performance of buses, with a shift to the Pulaski intermediate schedule. And again, I know those times will be discussed more this evening in the resolution. So those are the updates from me. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those at this time.
Board have any questions, or? No? Okay, seeing there's none. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. So just a few other things that I did want to share. I had the pleasure of attending the Land of Oz performance at Pulaski. It was an absolutely wonderful performance to see. I felt like I was watching 12th graders. I also had the opportunity to attend the high school spring concert, the middle school spring concert, as well as the Pulaski Spring Concert last evening. All were very well attended, so it was a pleasure to see our students in action. I do want to share that all 8 of our varsity teams were scholar athlete teams. 139 of our 213 varsity athletes attained individual scholar athlete status. That is 66% of our total spring varsity participation, so kudos to them. I also wanted to express that we have 2 students who have placed highly in the golf tournaments. Our softball team continues to amaze us with their perseverance, and we wish them the best of luck with their next round as well. And just a couple other items to share. On Thursday, 85 of our talented middle school students will be competing at the High Notes Music Festival in Connecticut, and we wish them the best of luck on that opportunity. And our Aquabog 4th graders wowed their peers with an in-school concert showcasing songs from their performance at the high school. Aquabog teachers continue to work in a team book study on the book Mindful Parenting for ADHD. The dual language information night was a success as parents were able to learn about our 2A dual language program and sign their soon-to-be kindergartners up to participate. The Aquabog artists were excited to have their work featured at the Art in Action, and the 3rd graders are busily preparing for their first ever Pop Goes the Recorder concert under the direction of Miss Megan Kelly. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. Moving on to consent agenda. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda? Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Motion carries. Moving right along. Oh, nice. It's in the right spot. Moving on to new business. Item A, approval of agreement with National Business Technologies. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Questions, comments, or concerns?
I question the amount of hours for the 3rd year. I think it's excessive and not warranted at this point, and the expense. So I'm not in favor of this consultant agreement.
Anyone else? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, approval of changes to bell schedule for the 23-24 school year. Can I get a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Item C, approval of tax anticipation note. Can I get a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Item D, approval to abolish position. Can I get a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Mr. Scudder, thank you for the second. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item E, approval of shared services contract with eBOCES. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Item F, approval of 2023-2024 salary schedule for non-contracted employees. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Questions, comments, or concerns? None. All in favor? Motion carries. Item G, authorize the Board of Education President to sign contracts for PPS for the upcoming school year. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Item H, authorize contract awards on the basis of best value. Can I get a motion? Anyone? Thank you, Mr. Scudder. Thank you for the second, Mr. Palmer. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Is this
Things like-
something new that we're doing? Do we typically vote on something like this? Like this best value?
So it's important as we're taking a look at what the bids are who come in with the contracts, that we want to be able to get the absolute best performance and the best options available. And certainly, as we were looking through this, we did have our attorney vet and go through this to ensure that we are doing everything in compliance.
Anyone else? All in favor? We go back to discussion, yes.
I don't know what this is.
Would this be changing the approval on contracts more than $10,000, so they wouldn't have to be voted on, or?
This is one, it's an exception under the general municipal law to the competitive bidding requirements for contracts that are over the competitive bidding threshold of $20,000. So ordinarily, those contracts would be subject to competitive bidding with pursuant to specifications issued. Then they go to the lowest responsible bidder. Best value is a different basis for awarding contracts that's been around since about 2012, and it lets you look at a few other factors, but contracts still come before the board for approval.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor? Motion carries. Item I, oh no, that's what I just did that one, right? No, item I, to authorize the school district to use a contract with Sourcewell for awards based on value. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Is there a contract to look at? Because there's no contract attached. Like, what are we agreeing to here? Like, how much is this costing? I'm not familiar with this.
Sorry. Sourcewell is a cooperative bidding organization. It's not a particular contract you're approving. It's the ability for your business office to explore that contract option where it's deemed appropriate, but each contract has to meet certain requirements under the law and would still have to come before the board for approval to use particular agreements. I can't speak to whether there's a particular cost to be a member of Sourcewell.
So you don't know if this is costing us anything?
That would be, the business office should know.
At this current time, it's not costing us anything because the companies pay for the fees. We would just be allowed to at least entertain contract services for printing and ink and other related equipment related to copier machines if we choose to make purchase from any vendor that we cannot make purchase through BOCES or to a state contract.
Anyone else? Can I get a motion? We did the motions already, right? Okay, sorry, I apologize. All in favor? Motion carries, thank you. Item J, approval of second reading of new and revised board policies. We have the following policies. 0115, student harassment and bullying prevention and intervention. 1420, complaints about curricula on instructional materials. 4315.1, AIDS instruction. 4327, homebound instruction. 4340, adult education programs. 5710, school safety and educational climate reporting, and 8130, school safety plans and teams. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Palmer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing there's none, all in favor? Motion carries. Item K, acceptance for donation. We have a donation from the Jacob Marley Foundation in the amount of $5,000 to be used for the Jerry Schlipp Memorial Scholarship. Thank you very much. Can I get a motion? Thank you, Mr. Dorr. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Healy. Questions, comments, or concerns?
No, thank
Seeing
you.
there's none, all in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving on to opportunity for board members.
Want me to go first? Okay. Okay, this
Board
is,
committee, I'm sorry, board members, committee reports.
Audit Committee met April 12th. Present was Dr. Tonatori, Dr. Essay, myself, and Colin Palmer. The Audit Committee discussed the status of the treasurer and deputy treasurer open positions. The district is required to fill the deputy treasurer position with a qualified civil service candidate because it is a civil service competitive position. The Audit Committee discussed the status of the 22-23 general fund budget and freezing spending due to increase in costs of goods and services. The Audit Committee discussed the impact of BOCES services on the budget, as well as the status of special aid grants and spending cuts. The proposed budget will be finalized after the state provides the state aid data for the 23-24 school year. The state is late in adopting the 23-24 budget. The Audit Committee discussed the status of budget rollover from 22-23 to 23-24 in detail by revenue sources and projected expenditures. We discussed, I think that was it. And that was it.
There we go. So the policy committee met on May 2nd. The following policies were reviewed. 4315.1 AIDS instruction. The policy committee is suggesting to eliminate the paragraph that reads, "The board shall establish an advisory council which shall be responsible for making recommendations on content, implementation, and evaluation of the AIDS instructional program. The advisory council must consist of board members, appropriate school personnel, parents, and community representative, including representatives from religious organizations." In lieu of this paragraph, the following statement will be included. Reference will be made to policy 4200, curriculum management. Concerning policy 4340, adult education program, the committee is suggesting to eliminate the bullet, "The program will be provided to individuals who are beyond the compulsory school age and who are not enrolled in public or private secondary school," replaced with, "Regularly enrolled high school students may enroll in a continuing education course providing there is space available. Parent guardian permission must be obtained for students under 18 years of age," to make it complementary to policy 4340R, adult education program regulations. Concerning policy 1420, complaints about curricula or instructional materials, it's the recommendation of the policy committee to revise wherever it reads "superintendent of schools" to change to "superintendent of schools" or his/her designee. Furthermore, number 3 has been changed to, "Upon receiving a formal written complaint, the superintendent of schools or his/her designee will establish a curriculum review committee consisting of a parent, teachers, and administrator, representative of building level administration, and curricula director, administrator." Concerning 4327, homebound instruction, policy is in agreement with the recommendations addressed by NYSBA, specific to change in verbiage and related expectations of the district. For policy 0115, student harassment and bullying prevention and intervention, committee is in agreement with the recommendations addressed by NYSBA, specific to change from VADIR report to school safety and educational climate summary data collection form. For 4710, school safety and educational climate reporting, it's been determined that the policy is in keeping with the mission and vision of the Riverhead Central School District and does not warrant any modifications, upgrade, or changes at the time. Furthermore, the policy committee finds that no changes to this policy needs to be addressed, as information recommended by NYSBA is clearly outlined and summarized in policy 5300, the Code of Character, Conduct, and Support, revised last year, November 15th. Concerning 8130, school safety plans and teams, policy committee suggests that where it reads building principal shall be changed to building principal or his/her designee, and remove resource officers from the plan, as we do not employ a resource officer in our schools currently. A few policies were determined to be keeping with the mission and vision of the district and don't warrant any modifications, upgrades, or changes at this time, and these include policies 8635-E, Parents' Bill of Rights for Student Data Privacy and Security, 1511, Advertising in the Schools, 1222, Relationship with Booster Organizations, 1000, Community Relations Goals, 4340, Adult Education Programs Regulation, 4311.1, Display of the Flag, 4311.1-R, Display of the Flag Regulation, and finally, concerning policy 4531, Field Trips and Excursions, the committee is requested to place this policy on hold to assess policies from other districts and recommendations from the New York State School Board Association. And then moving on to the Wellness Committee, which met on May 9th. In attendance were myself, Dr. Kerner, Mr. Graham, Director of Food Services, Mr. Hull, the head nurse, Mr. Sachs, the Director of Athletics, and Dr. Tornatori. Mr. Sachs, discussing physical education and health, described the CPR and AED courses that have been added this year as a new elective. We're currently working on how to certify staff and students for the Red Cross certification. Concerning special education and PPS, Dr. Kerner mentioned that we're continuing to look at the continuum of services and streamline processes and procedures. Mental health is at the forefront of everything we do for faculty, staff, students, and families. Concerning the school lunch program, Mr. Graham discussed the quick kitchen equipment upgrades, point of sales programs also upgraded. Kitchen staff have been having a great rapport with students, knowing them and their preferences. A class at Aquabog had sent a letter requesting macaroni and cheese, corn dogs, spaghetti, and pancakes to be added to the menu. Thanks to Mrs. Wade's class for their voice and agency, we were able to add 2 of their item recommendations to the menu for March, and Mr. Graham is going to try to put these items on for next year. So number-wise, we've served 40,000 more breakfasts and 45,000 more lunches than this time last year. And so far, we have, at that point, we'd served 420,000 lunches that year. Concerning social emotional learning, Dr. Kerner mentioned that all health teachers are using the Rethink Ed for social emotional learning. WHIL is our mindfulness app through Rethink Ed for staff, parents, and students. Any parent interested in logging on should contact administration for assistance. The yoga with Think Wellness New York continues next year through ES BOCES, and restorative practices are going well throughout the district. And this actually goes into my personal board comment. I had thanks the committee for sharing their valuable information. As the year kind of comes to a close, I hope that everyone, is focusing on all the policy, all of the positives of this district. So often, what we tend to think about are things that you may be worried about, but remember that there are so many more positives going on in Riverhead than there are negatives. And I think that, that particular wellness committee meeting and just the presentations that we received tonight have really been showing the progress that Riverhead's been experiencing. And I'm looking forward to working, with other board members next year on all this.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer. We're now going to open up to board member remarks.
I would like to see the board and either the town of Riverhead or the chief of police of Riverhead actively start in communication to get our SRO back. Whether the board pays or the town pays 100% like they do in some other districts, or we go back to splitting the costs. I think it's a necessity that a district our size should have at least one SRO in our district.
Anyone else? Okay, I'd
just-
like to say a couple of things. I'm sorry. I'd like to welcome Mr. Scudder, congratulating him on his victory. Welcome to the Riverhead Central School District Board of Education. I know we all look forward to working with him in the upcoming future. And the biggest thing I want to say is I want everybody to go out there and enjoy their Memorial Day weekend, this upcoming weekend, but I just want everybody to, like you to remember that it's a day of remembrance for those who have died in service to our country. We have a great history with this school district and those that have served. Being, PFC Garfield Langhorne Medal of Honor recipient, also a 1967 Riverhead graduate who gave his life in service to his country. So when you're having a great time this weekend, just keep that in the back of your mind. That, and just wanted to say, remember it, sorry. Anyone else?
I just want to congratulate the girls varsity softball. They're really, I just hope with each game that gets them closer and closer to that victory. And I just want to bring up, I guess they left, but our two students and the one young gentleman mentioning about being included in discussions about safety. And I know we have committees, like our health and safety committee. I know in the past there was a parent that used to be on the wellness committee. So, would that be something that would be possible, that we would have a student, one of our student members part of that committee, as well as, like he had mentioned, a parent, so they could be with, the wide variety of the other community members that are part of that committee?
Absolutely. We could send out the invites for next year when the committees reconvene. I think that's a great idea, and it's good to have student and parental input with these committees as well.
Great. And I'm going to advertise again. We had advertised and had on the website about the audit committee. We're looking for a community member with financial accounting background. So if you're interested and would like to participate with that committee, we would love to have you.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Scudder to the board, and congratulations to the rest of the candidates who won on election night. Congratulations. Just in regards to the high school advisors, we do have a safety plan in place in the schools, so everybody's aware. It's not public because of the reason, it's a safety plan, and so we definitely do have a safety plan, and the local police department, fire departments are all included in that safety plan, but for security reasons, it's not public knowledge, so I just want the public to be aware of that. That's it.
I think Ms. Healy said about having a high school representative, maybe not being involved in the planning, but I think maybe having, especially at the high school level, kids being able to, having some representative to being able to tell administration and us how they are feeling in the building. A lot of times, they might not even be telling their parents. So it would be nice to have that open line of communication, maybe not including them in what the plans are, but as having their input on how they are feeling as far as safety.
And in committee, they will, just like everybody else, they would be able to.
Right. But I see what Mr. Wallace is saying about that, they can't, yeah.
Okay, anyone else? I'd be totally remiss, and I'm sorry, I do want to thank the public for coming out and voting and for passing the budget. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and I do want to thank everyone for that. And moving on to opportunity for RCFA.
Good evening, Gregory Wallace, Riverhead Central Faculty Association. I'd like to echo Mr. Conley's sentiments in thanking the community for supporting our students and our school by passing the budget. And I know Ms. Zahosky is not here tonight, but Mr. Dorr and Ms. Zahosky, as your time on the board comes to an end, we want to thank you for your service. It's a thankless job, and we want to thank you for everything you've done for our school district, and along with Ms. Zahosky, we appreciate your service, and we're going to miss you. Thank you.
Opportunity for Rodney, do we have anything? No? Okay, awesome. We're going to now open the floor for public comments.
I'm going to try to read fast. My name is Kimberly Wilder. I live on Osborne Avenue across the way. Besides wanting our high school to be safe for my daughter and her friends when they grow up, I also want the high school to be safe because I live around the corner. I want to start my comments by offering you this thought. There is a way of dealing with school conflict and behavior problems that is called trauma-informed schools. So, I feel like all of us have been through a little bit of trauma. A Riverhead High School student was murdered off campus a little while back. Besides the sadness and regret for his lost life, there have been layers of repercussions. The murderer has not been found. That is scary for the community, and I feel a little scared about that myself. There is a police investigation, so it is difficult for a school district to speak on this topic that worries and matters to all of us. Imagine the position that the people sitting at this table must be in. They may know that either this thing had something a little bit to do with our school or maybe nothing to do with our school, but they can't assure us and they can't inform us because it's something that's open and that's happening to us right now. With this and some other incidents as a backdrop, and with the addition of some heated language from past and current officials, it is easy for people to honestly feel afraid of the climate at our school. So I was very surprised when I asked people, even people who are social justice activists like me, even people who 2 months ago might have not believed in police or SROs at school, a lot of people that I asked said that maybe we needed a police or an SRO officer at our school now. It's just something being floated around. What I would ask is that we realize that wanting a police officer at our school now is just a fallback position that some of us hold right now out of our real genuine fear and out of the current situations and out of the feeling that maybe the police are going to save us. So we probably should not make a decision or take an action until the crime that we have been shaken by is sorted out. It would be sad if we added law enforcement and a gun into our school environment for a reason that in truth may have had nothing to do with our school and didn't happen at our school. Research and a quick survey of YouTube videos shows that SRO officers can create problems at schools, especially for students of color and for students with special needs. So instead of going to our fear position and making a knee-jerk reaction to a crime event that is not even sorted out yet, I hope that we can take this urge to fix and heal and keep our children safe and do some research. We should take real action and do genuine work as a community and take this time to begin some alternative, long-term, more productive ways to deal with the conflict in our schools. I scanned a long article from Arizona State University that has great ideas and advice. It is titled Reimagining School Safety Without Resource Officers, discussing alternative programs, and practices. If you want, you can see me afterwards, and I have a copy of the title page so you can find it. The article lists several strategies to set up behavior programs and alternatives to SRO officers at schools. One idea is trauma-informed schools. So there's a whole strategy that would mesh with how we all feel right now after COVID and after a murder in our community. And a trauma approach would also work well with some of our immigrant families who face difficulties coming to America. Some other strategies include mindfulness programs such as teaching breathing and yoga, which I know that we have done and we have included, and I commend the school district for that. Another one is anti-bullying programs, which New York State requires and our district has and is implemented. I wish that we could go stronger with our anti-bullying and DASA programs, and I think that would help, really bearing down on those would help some of the things. Restorative practices with rehab, peer mediation, and democratic schools. I'm going to read the rest really fast, and I do have the handout for people. Letting students help create structures and policies in school, using governance as a strategy, as you saw suggested tonight, is an excellent way to empower our students and create leadership skills. We do this to some extent with student government and the way we allow and invite students to make presentations at the school board meeting. More input and control by students could help turn the school climate around, and I thank the board for the wonderful idea of putting students on committees. Last sentence, paragraph. I hope that we as a school community take this time to build and build on some of the positive long-term solutions to making our schools safe. I truly feel like it is the worst time ever to make a sudden decision about SROs in our schools, and I feel much more comfortable with some of the ideas that are proposed here and the ideas that we're doing as better ways to help heal our school and keep our climate happy and positive.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? All right, seeing this done, can I get a motion for adjournment? Oh, sorry, Rodney, did you have any? Nope. Can I get a motion for adjournment? Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Can I get a second? Thank you, Mr. Dora. Questions, comments, or concerns? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll see you in June.
Please help support the Riverhead Central School District YouTube channel by subscribing. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to push that subscribe button and click the bell to receive notifications. Thank you.